One thing that I've noticed on black YouTube is that niggas tend to talk about, when they mention whites, they'll talk about their idiosyncrasies, the microaggressions, not seasoning their food, predilection to child porn and bro jobs, incest, shit like that. They'll go on, and on and on and on and on about that shit. And of course, general racism, how they move. But they never come up with these real solutions for how to deal with these things real time. They're always trying to come up with this bullshit macro solution that involves them understanding and how they come across and how to build the bridge and all this dumb shit. And as soon as I talk about locking it in, crunching them up, taking shit to where the fuck it needs to go, the Aryans come out of nowhere. And just to put this out here, I'm also mentioning the tribalist. And here's why. The tribalists that matter are white. They're not a different race. They're not. That's the, when the Christianarian talks about the tribalist, he's just talking about them. He's not talking about the brown ones in Iran. He's not talking about the brown ones in Palestine. He's talking about the European converts like Ben Milikowski. These people converted back in the day because they wanted to be street bankers. It was a street banker, it's a loan shark. They were loan sharks. And they couldn't be a loan shark if they were Christian because they'd get their ass whipped because usury was a sin. That's how it worked. So that's why they do that. So I'm talking about them. This is not there's no distinction between the two because nobody cares about a Fashala. Nobody cares about a Beta Israel. Nobody cares about a Mizrahi. They don't care about them. We're only talking about whites. All of them. And these people, they love to deflect. Like, it's this kind of white person. It's that kind of... No, it's all of them. It's fucking all of them. I'm not saying that all white people are racist. And I'm tired of having to even mention that. But it's all racist white people. All white supremacists. And they're all different ethnicities. And then another thing that pisses me off is blacks. Blacks tend to have this thing that they do, and I mean all blacks all over the world, they do this thing when they're in spaces with these other fucking races, with the Aryan and his ally. The Aryan, mulatto, beaner, any of these people, they'll get around you and they'll start talking shit. Like not long ago, there was this podcast. There were these two hefty Negro women, and they were talking to these Mulawats. We're talking to the Mulawats on this podcast. And the Mulawats were talking about how in Atlanta, all the black chicks are busted. Yeah, Atlanta black chicks are busted. Atlanta chicks are busted. That was the code. And that meant all black women are busted. All black women, that's what they were saying. They were saying that all black women are busted. And so what these women were saying was, oh, yeah, you could talk about them, shout it, because I'm from Texas. Nigga, they don't know you're from Texas. They're talking about all black women. They're saying that white women are hotter than black women. That's what these people are saying. Niggas be talking about blacks doing crime, because that's a big thing for the Aryan. Even though we know that Aryans do the most crime, they do 70% of all ARPs, all grapes, if you will. It's verified by the FBI, but whatever. The point is, when they're talking about that, a black or blue, I'm not one of them kind of blacks. I'm a Jamaican. I'm a Caribbean. I'm African American. I ain't one of them. That's the Caribbeans doing that. They're talking about all of you. Nobody cares about your little ethnicities. You're black, and that's it. There's no special things. It's not because the Moors were ancient masters of the world and all this dumb shit. It's because you're black. Here's the deal, Canadians. Let's just say that blacks were the rulers back in the day. They was the kings. They ruled Europe. There was an iconoclast movement, and they got rid of all the blacks. because they was Cain. It's not because of that. The reason why let's say even if all that happened, let's just say fuck it. Let's just say that all that happened. Y'all was kings. Y'all was in Europe. Y'all was ruling and shit. Why do you think they get rid of them? Why do you think they cover up their looks? Why do you think they cover up their past? Because they're black, and they just don't like you because they're black. And the fact that you be rolling over them would piss them off in and of itself. In and of itself, that's just a no. That's just a no. That's just a no go. And for whatever reason, black people just cannot absorb this shit into their brain. They can't. They can't even fathom this. They don't even want to think about this. It's just the very thought of any of the that I've been preaching for years just infuriates black people. The idea that the Aryan doesn't fuck with you at all just pisses you off. It's crazy. It doesn't even piss you. You just can't even imagine it. That they just don't like you off rip for who you are. Cause we like our music and they loves this and like I saw this guy, this Aryan called into Tariq's show. And he was coming with all these hardcore conservative and you know that conservative is code for anti-black. So black conservatives are imbeciles. Anyway. He's coming with all these talking points, but he listens to all this black hip hop, all this underground hip hop, hieroglyphics, AC Alone, all that shit, Wu-Tang. And actually Wu-Tang's more mainstream now, but they were the prototype of the underground dirty backpacker movement. And I've always said that the reason why they listen to all that shit is to understand how you think. They're not your friends. They do not fuck with you. This is a race war. These people don't like you. They want you gone. They keep you around to understand because they think you're primitive, that they can understand the primitive mindset and the primitive base form of humanity itself. If they can understand these primitive beings over here, they can understand themselves better and they can understand how to rule the world better. And you fucking people don't understand this. And no matter how much people tell you, even white people, you just don't fucking absorb this because you think you'd be special and shit. And if you just be showing them how cool you is, you gonna get them on your side, player. None of that shit's gonna ever happen, dude. None of that shit's gonna happen. Like I said, the reason why I've always hated Afrocentrism, and when I say Afrocentrism, I'm using that as a catch-all for all this shit. The new Native American movement, the Black Muslim movement, the Israelites, all that idiotic shit, all that fucking moronic shit is to impress these people and show these people you have value. That's why these fucking morons sit on the corner with the Bible. Even the Christian movement, even the Negro Christian movement. That's why they sit on the corner with the Bible and they try to out-Bible the white man. They sit on the corner with the Quran and try to out-Quran the Semitic white man. No matter what, these niggas are trying to out-white these people. And they're just looking at you like, what the fuck are you, what are you doing? Like, you don't even understand why we do this. So yeah, you've mastered this book that we don't care about, and you don't understand the underlying reason. You don't understand the control mechanisms. You don't understand the logic behind why we do this shit. And they never get it. And when you get close to telling them, that's when the cats come out and they, oh man, this guy's doing hate speech. And hey boy, I don't like what you're saying. You causing trouble there, buddy. Like I said, like Neely Fuller said, like I said, you're free in America. You're free in these Aryan countries. You're free in these Aryan spaces. Even in Africa, you're free to do dumb shit. But as soon as what you're doing is effective, I've said this a billion times, that's when these motherfuckers come for you. Because they don't care what I'm saying. They care about who's listening. Neely Fuller noticed the same damn thing. Malcolm X, for example, he said all that shit, he was getting too effective. What happened? The NYPD, the FBI, the CIA, and the secret American police, because they have a secret police force here. They have a secret police force. This country is no different from North Korea. All the shit that they claim to hate about North Korea, America does. remember, North Korea was doing their own thing. You want to know why North Korea is a shithole right now? It's not because of communism. They always say it's because of communism, because they think that if they create any kind of socialist aspect, that the N words are going to benefit. That's the whole thing. That is the entire thing of that. And the communists were calling out America on their bullshit when it came to black people. That's the entire encompassing whole of that. Now, I'm not a communist, but that's what that is. But what they did in Korea, North Korea, was they blew up the dams and flooded all their food. Then they bombed all the civilians. And they said that they did this. And they bragged about that they did this. And that's why North Korea fell off. That's the only reason, because they bombed the infrastructure and they blew up the food so that they couldn't eat. That's what the Aryan does. And they talk about this communism shit, and they bitch about this stuff, and they ignore what they really did and how these people were effective at what they were doing by stepping outside of the Aryan system. They don't like you stepping outside of the Aryan system. They feed you or you die. That's it. That's how this works. Anything else they're telling you is complete horseshit. And you niggas do not understand this. And you're trying to be down. If we could just get enough money, if we could just mix with them, then all the racism go in. That joke about, oh, this guy just ended racism with one thing, or oh shit, they mix now. That they'll think like if they got black friends, that these people they just don't understand the control matrix. The mindset of the Aryan is to control both sides of the argument. This is what the tribalists do. The tribalists even do it to other white people, though. That's the problem that they don't have with the tribalists. Excuse me, that's the problem that they do have with the tribalists. The tribalist controls both sides of the argument. But at the end of the day, the Aryan controls the board across it. He controls the Aryan, he controls the Pseudo-Semitics, he controls the Germanic, the Alpine, whatever you want to call these motherfuckers, they're all white. And he controls the whole board, and then he controls you motherfuckers. And he uses his allies to put you in your fucking place. And all these moronic, ridiculous distinctions mean nothing to them. They don't care about if you're a Hausa. They don't care about if you're Yoruba. They don't give a fuck if you're Kanuri. They don't give a fuck if you're Zulu. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about any shit. Stop trying to distinct yourselves. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They'll use you to get this guy, and then they'll use that guy to get you, because they always just want to control. And as soon as they don't see this working anymore, they just slaughter everybody outright. That's why they have the nukes. Remember, back in the day, Jack and Dandies, when Japan said that they were sick of the racism in America that they were doing to the blacks, and that they were doing to the Japanese, and so then the Japanese did Pearl Harbor. Remember that? And they already knew it was coming, but they leave that part out. That's why they dropped the nukes on them. To let all other people know, do not ever get on code with the goddamn blacks. And to send a message to the Soviet Union. Why would they want to send a message to the Soviet Union? Because it was the Soviet Union. And this is why they got rid of Rusty Balls on here. Rusty Balls, aka Randy some shit. He made a video and it showed all the Russian propaganda from the 1900s, whenever Stalin got in power, to the mid 60s. It showed all the propaganda breaking down American racism that nobody ever knew about, that blacks in America didn't know about, because they were so under racism that they were just used to it. This is how it is. We're just used to it. They got rid of the African Legion. They used to crunch these people up. And they got rid of all the mechanisms, and they got rid of all the institutions so that the Aryan completely control the black community like they do now. So you gotta beg them for jobs and play their game and deal with their allies, the Browns. So this is what they were used to. By that point, by the 60s, the black community was over. There's no black community anymore. Black community has been gone since the 60s. Then they got rid of the black family. Now they're just gonna breed you out. They're gonna absorb you, and then they're gonna marginalize the absorbed mongrel group. That's the plan. Okay? If you don't see that coming, you're a fool. But yeah. The Russians were showing all this propaganda back in the 40s, back in the 50s and 60s. The Japanese dropped those, did Pearl Harbor to send a message to America about the racism. That pissed them off because they didn't think they were going to win. They just were like, we did it. They said it. They said it and put it in the newspapers, and they're covering it up now. They said it under the fucking mouth that they did it because of the racism in America and how they were treating blacks. I swear to fucking God they said that. And they blew those motherfuckers up. They had already carpet bombed them into submission. And then they dropped those nukes. Those nukes were a message to the entire fucking world. All these people have this talk. Don't help the blacks. Like in a moment of silence, if they see that you're really pushing, you're not a hood rat, you're really pushing, they'll tell you. They'll tell you, man, like, dude, you need to wake up. You need to do this. You need to do that. These people are racist. They hate your guts. Like, you're on your own. Like, these people, all these other races, not even blacks, other fucking races have told me this. Chinese, Vietnamese, even Browns. They've all told me this shit, man. And none of you fucking people get this. These people are your fucking enemy, and you're not moving. It's not a secret like moving up. You niggas are just trying to breed in. And this is why people get to this point where they're just like, you know what, F these people. F these people, and they fucking turn into nukes. Because they see this shit. I don't know, man. There's like no hope for you people. I mean, look what they did to Haiti. Haiti with the Lavala party, you got this fucking guy, he's on here, this fucking filthy tribalist. Hey, how you feel about that 70 that got worked up, huh? Anyway, you got this fucking tribalist on here. He's talking shit. But I brought up the Lavala party. They were pulling Haiti out of the poverty. They were restructuring the country. They were building the country back up. And it was working. It was working. Literacy rate was up damn near 70%. Trade was increased. Infrastructure was getting rebuilt. Everything was working out. So they got rid of them. They kicked them out. And they destroyed the country. Once again. To send a message just like they sent a message to Japan. Blacks, this is what happens when you go off the script. This is what happens when you do your own thing. North Korea, this is what you're doing your own thing. And nobody's thinking like, let's all pool our resources and clear the board. Nobody's thinking that. Nobody's thinking that, but that's, at the end of the day, you niggas want peace, and they don't. I'm gonna say this again. They want peace. You want peace. They don't. They'll never want peace. That's why I say fuck peace. They don't want peace with you. They want you gone. And you're never gonna get it. And as long as you don't understand this, you're on borrowed time. That's a fact. Bitch.